So I came home from mission life at the end of 2009, and all of a sudden I was in a quandary. My identity had been Franciscan missioner for 3 years. So who was I then? When I stepped off the plane and I'm back in Philadelphia and cars are zooming by on 95 and I haven't driven for 3 years and I'm in this Alice in Wonderland kind of re-entry into the United States, fast-paced culture, cell phones, laptops, you know, people are, my brother, computing, cell phone, Bluetooth. I was shocked and trying to hold on to the slow pace and the real quality of presence that I had experienced in Bolivia, because there was time to be present to each other, there was time to listen, there wasn't the distraction of a television. So that was a tough period when we came back. But FMS helped me find my place again, because it was through FMS that they said, why don't you look for this Franciscan connection? You might find something in Camden, New Jersey. So there I walked into the parish office at St. Anthony of Padua and sat down with Father Jed Oixnar and said, tell me about this Franciscan parish. Would that echo what I experienced in Bolivia? He hands me the parish mission statement. And so 6 months after the day that I landed, I wept. Reading a parish mission statement, which is the most boring thing in the world, right? It was beautiful poetry to me, because it said, we here at St. Anthony of Padua live in the Franciscan spirit, honoring, this is I'm paraphrasing, honoring Jesus Christ in witness to the poor and marginalized immigrant of Camden, New Jersey, you know, so on and so forth, with integrity of, respecting integrity of creation, care for the poor, all the tenets, you know, of our Catholic social teaching. That is where my faith comes alive, and that is where I have found a home, and I am blessed. Estoy bien bendecida. So let me tell you a little bit about the parallels, and I only have a couple more minutes. Some of the experiences at St. Anthony's bring me right back to Bolivia. As I stand there in the parking lot and we're shouting across, "Hola, hermanita, ¿cómo estás?" Kisses and hugs, and everybody's late, and llegamos a la hora latina. And I think, oh my gosh, I'm back in mission life. How blessed am I? This is awesome, you know, in the beginning. And then as we've gotten deeper into the work, my position there is coordinator of peace and justice and integrity of creation. So where do I find myself? I find myself translating the voices of the parishioners at St. Anthony's who speak only Spanish, many of them. Our parish is about 85% Spanish speaking. At a community organizing meeting in front of Camden public officials. And what Reverse Mission has gifted me with is the ability, after 3 years of having to speak Spanish, of I didn't say, but my 13-year-old little friends that I worked with in the shelter, sassing me every day, Cristina, no es así, es así, correcting me so to improve my Spanish. Finally, I get to use it. And I get to be, how blessed am I to be able to use my voice and that ability of 3 years of speaking Spanish in Bolivia, so that a public official can hear Maritza Ramos tell him about how her electricity's been cut off, and how she's undocumented and she has no recourse, how she has no access to health care, and she has diabetes, how someone was robbed 3 times in the past 4 months in Camden, and can't walk on the street anymore. This testimony was just given last Monday night in front of the mayor and the police chief of Camden, one of our parishioners. How blessed am I to be able to be a bridge person? And that is from my mission experience, to be able to live reverse mission, as they say, reverse mission or continued mission. Another example, at St. Anthony of Padua, we have a community garden. And I also try to help coordinate like the 35 gardeners. So we have Doña Reina, who's a campesina from Mexico, and she has a little bit of a different style of farmer gardening than, you know, Miss Donna, who's from Camden, has lived there all her life, American, who has a nice neat plot in a box. And Doña Reina is throwing seeds in every blank spot of earth. And Miss Donna says, this is terrible, this is a disaster, this garden is out of control. And for Doña Reina, it's a beautiful farm. It's producing. There's maíz, and there's frijoles, and there's tomate, right? And because of mission, and because of being able to understand where both sides are, there is a connection and a voice between Doña Reina and Ms. Donna. And sometimes that's a really hard place to be in, right? Because you can't always be the voice. But if I hadn't had that mission experience, I would never be able to grasp both sides.